Good morning, crew, and welcome to Raw Vlog number 40. Raw Vlogs are recorded in front of a live steering wheel on my way to getting my coffee delivered straight to you, raw and unedited. Sorry, I'm kind of a little discombobulated right now because the camera was freaking out and I had to pull over. If you're unfamiliar with the channel, I'm Alan. This is the MTB ALAN channel. Fresh mountain bike content every Monday at 5 p.m. as well as these raw vlogs. If you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. I'll show up in your feed and you'll be supporting the channel. In today's raw vlog, we're going to be talking a little bit about the difference between riding alone, or the benefits of riding alone, or we're just going to talk about riding alone, community, riding with a bunch of people, and some stuff a little bit about mountain bikes. I think, I know everybody's like, it's not a big deal, but we're going to talk a little bit about it anyway because that's what's been on my mind. Before we get into that though, channel news. I've already talked about I'm going to Sedona Mountain Bike Festival, but the update is I'm going to be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if you're consuming this when it comes out, I should already be there. If you're going to Sedona Mountain Bike Festival and you see me around, I'm gonna have these limited edition stickers on me, the air horn stickers. Whoa, what happened? I got stuff all over it. They won't be dirty like this, they'll be clean. But if you see me, say hi, grab a sticker. I'll have some of them. I'll also have some of my classic face graphic stickers. Grab some stickers, put them on some stuff. Other channel news this Monday, we're still coming out with an episode this Monday. It's a little bit short and the cuts are still good, but I did have to rush this one because I had to get it done last night. Normally I work on videos throughout the week and then finish them up on the weekend and have time to really refine them and tell a good story. We're still got a good story, we still got good stuff coming out. That being said, it's from the shop ride that I did with the Path Bike Shop. Awesome ride, bunch of people came out. If you came out, thanks for coming out. I know some of you did drive a ways to get there, and also huge thanks to the Path, to Brandon at one of the wrenches over there. I think he's the main shop service guy, and Val also from the Path, who helped organize that and coordinate. Also Brian, who did the sweep, and just everybody that was involved. That was really rad. Anyway, this Monday, that's what the video is all about. I'm gonna have to do some backtracking now. I'm a little discombobulated all over. Is there any other shop news? Channel news? I always say shop news, even though it's channel news. Sorry, I'm gonna concentrate on not getting in a crash right now. Okay, there we go. So, is there any stuff I forgot from last week? I can't even think. Let's just get into the subject matter. Today, what's been on my mind is how when I started mountain biking, I used to ride alone quite a lot. And there was a beauty in that. There was something about being out in the woods by myself with my bike and just having that kind of solitude. And I haven't really done that. I can't think of the last time actually I went for a ride by myself. And I kind of want to, I don't want to say I want to get back to that, but I want to start doing that more. Just because there's an aspect of mountain biking that I haven't really accessed, and I'm trying to just kind of zero in on what it is I get out of riding out there by myself. Some of it is the self-sufficiency of, you know, if something goes wrong, I know I have to take care of it. The main thing though, I think, is the utter simplicity of it. I'm gonna stop when I feel like stopping. I'm gonna go when I feel like going. If I want to explore some other split off, I'm gonna do that. And I don't need to check in with anybody. And yeah, there's no like social, or there's no group pressure. That being said, I really enjoy riding with the group. If you were there this last week when I was riding with the Path group, you'll know like I get stoked on that. We've talked a little bit about how much it stokes me out to be in a train on a trail and just seeing a bunch of riders in front of me and hearing people hooting and hollering behind me. I really dig it. I think what's built into that is this kind of mutual support that we have in the mountain biking community, and I've only found it that sort of thing a couple of other places, and one of those places used to be skateboarding. I feel like when I started skateboarding back in the 80s, if you saw another skateboarder, you were friends, because there was not a lot of you and you were somewhat ostracized. And I experienced that also with the CrossFit community of being a smaller, tighter core group, and then how that made it so that you were always, you always had each other's back, because you knew there weren't that many of you and you had a common experience of being, part of a smaller group. I didn't think there's that much ostriches. I don't think we're getting ostracized that much as mountain bikers. I know that there's, conflicts between hikers and equestrians and mountain bikes and trail access and stuff like that, but I don't think it's the same as as skateboarding or even CrossFit for that matter. That being said, it is a small group, it's a tight community, and it's now, when I see other mountain bikers, or anytime I see other mountain bikers, I feel a kinship. I don't know if it's always mutual, to tell the truth, but I don't really care. I feel like, we should all be out for each other's, we should all have each other's back. And then there's just the practicality of, if you see somebody stopped on the side of the trail, especially if you're out on a big ride where you're far away from anything, you want to help each other out. If the other person needs help, give them a tube or whatever, help them out. Now, I said I was going to talk about e-mountain bikes. Where my head is at here, okay, so let me back up. Yes, we've talked about e-mountain bikes, but the reason I was thinking about it today in relation to this community aspect and this kind of like tight community and mutual support is I feel that one of the reasons I think parts of the community felt tension, felt a bit of like stress around the e-mountain bike, is that for some people, it felt like it was segmenting our community. And so you would have riders who were on the same trail at the same trailheads who it felt for some people to feel like they were people on those e-mountain bikes were doing something else. They were part of a different segment and not part of the same community. And let me be clear on a couple of things. One, I'm not against e-mountain bikes. I have my own opinions and I have my own viewpoints on it, but I'm not against it. I'm not going to tell anybody not to get an e-mountain bike. But that thing about the community and it feeling segmented, you have to admit there were maybe a segment of the e-mountain bike segment that did make it feel at times like it was a different type of riding, and it was different than what you were doing if you were on a muscle assist mountain bike. So let's be honest about that. I've definitely experienced it myself, where just there were some etiquette things that were left by the wayside, directly connected to having that that motor assist. And that, you know, that kind of had that there was some wedging going on in there, you know, not wedgies, that caused, I think, some tension in the community. And in such a small community, what in a larger community would probably be just kind of whatever, in that smaller community, that thing sort of gets amplified. Those tensions, those minor conflicts can get amplified. That being said, I think some of that has kind of mellowed out a lot. I think there's been more acceptance. I think a lot of us have just kind of been like, whatever. But yeah. Sorry, I'm distracted right now because Matt Palmer just pulled into the parking lot, and I'm kind of tempted to get him in here and see what he has to say about anything. Hang on just a second. Hey Matt, come here for a second. So Matt, we're gonna do a quick interview with Matt, because Matt is the guy that got me into mountain biking. He's walking over here. Do you want to be in my raw vlog?
Hey, is this the end of one of your things?
Yeah, jump in.
Hey.
Hey everybody, this is Matt Palmer. I've talked about him a bunch. I'm always talking about how he can pedal like a monster, but he's the guy that got me back into mountain biking. I've talked about it before. If you don't know this guy's face, this guy's awesome. He's never in any of my videos because I don't know, various reasons. He's got a full life. Yeah. I'm actually talking about e-mountain bikes.
Oh, okay.
And how it could, one of the things I think that caused some of the divisiveness was it felt like a different segment for a little while. I don't know, like, I'm just kind of throwing you into this.
No, yeah. Yeah, I think it definitely does, because I think there's those people that feel like they've earned all this, like, power and ability.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there's like an e-ticket, if you will, right? Like, I could jump the line.
Right.
So I think that's like just ego for a lot of people. You know,
Yeah.
I've heard stories of like, yeah, my dad's like 50 and overweight and can't make it or keep up with us. And so he just, like, you know, on holidays he's at home, you know, and he's not with us. So now an e-bike can allow people like that to have pedal assist, things like that.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool. I mean, it's definitely like a weird vibe about it. I still am not a throttle bike person. Like,
oh, that's something
if you
else.
can just twist the wrist, man, like, that's just too much. And I've seen damage and all sorts of trails blown out and crazy stuff. I mean, they're built for, certain trails are built for certain flows, certain types of speed.
Mm-hmm.
You don't drive your truck on a Indy course, or, you know, like, yeah. There's certain things for certain things. And so I think that's where, like, sometimes the line managers and trail people can kind of like limit that a little bit of like what can go here, and that is just maintaining the land, making sure the land's okay based upon what's on there. So yeah,
because with the pedal assist, you're not gonna, you can't, it's very different than being able to rev it, right? Yeah. Because you can't like brap through any more than you can brap through a corner, but not that much more than you can with just a meat assist bike.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody can go through a corner too hot, but on an e-bike, I mean, it's probably about the same, you know, if it's just pedal assist. So yeah, anyway, that's kind of my philosophy I'm going with these days.
And then, so if you don't mind, I feel like you did have a shift though, right? Like, I think maybe you started at one point, like when it was new, and then there was like that shift, and you said like there was some stories you had heard about, like people who were limited and
yeah, I think like when I first experienced it, it was just super unsafe, like people commuting to and from work and flying past cars at like 25 miles an hour and like heavy traffic and just like, you know, just really unsafe stuff. Where I feel like sometimes if those people were actually pedaling, like they'd be going a lot slower, maybe more cautious, that kind of thing. But yeah, I think the shift for me is like, you know, there is kind of an accessibility kind of question for all uses in public lands. And so I think that, like, if that makes a little bit more accessible to people that don't have that ability, cool. Yeah. It's not like, you know, full on like hoverboard people flying through, right? It's not to that point yet, but like, you know, I think it's a good step in like still being in contact with the earth, still having some effort, still having to like struggle a little bit.
Self shuttle, that's the thing that like one of the things that like I'd never really thought about is that like, okay, right now, you know, I will shuttle sometimes, you know, and like, and I'm shuttling in a truck versus being able to like go up on a single track, you know, or do just bigger rides. I don't want to go too long.
Sure.
But I think that's great. I want to give you a little bit of perspective though on like, we're talking about e-bikes. This guy, tell me, so give you a perspective on where this guy's at in his pedaling efficiency. When we were in Santa Cruz, you pedaled from, where were we staying in the Airbnb?
Pleasure Point.
We were at Pleasure Point, which is like sea level.
Yeah.
And you pedaled up to SoCal Demo Forest. You like went through and then over to Aptos.
Aptos and like the Nicene Forest or something like that. I think is what it's called. Something like that,
yeah. And then met us up all the way to the top of Flow, and then and then did 2 laps on Flow and was like kind of tired afterwards. I was dying after that. I
don't know about that. I didn't bring enough food. I was pretty spent when I got in the truck. Right.
But just so you know, like, that's where he's at in terms of his pedaling. I just want to give you a little bit of perspective on that, and then like e-bike relation kind of stuff. Yeah, so thanks, dude.
Yeah,
I'm really awesome. I'm stoked.
Yeah.
Right? So let me do my outro.
Okay.
If you dug this video, hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, and I'll show up in your feed and you'll support the channel. See you next week.